and you walk by, I hit you with sexy eyes. You look through me as if I wasn't right. Oh no, you didn't just walk on through. It's time.
Okay guys, I'm back for a little bit. I wanted to show you kind of what I've done. Getting ready, as I said in the last segment, to cut the holes in the rails that will hold the PVC pipe. I went and made myself 2 jigs. First one I made was this one here, and it's just a small, it's about 4 foot long piece of scrap that I nailed to a piece of plywood. And what I've done is I've decided on my spacing for the wrought iron fence, I want a 6-inch gap. So I started down here at this end here, measured out 6 inches, put a line, another 6 inches, put a line, and so on until I got down to the end of the wood. What this is going to allow me to do, and this is one of the rails here, is measure. Mark out my lines on my piece for when I get ready to drill. And all I have to do is just butt the end up here, taking a square, wrong way there, right there. I'll back that all the way out there, and then just match it up with the lines as such, and score it. It's all pre-measured out, so I'm not having to screw with the tape. Just work my way down the board until it's marked all the way. Now this piece here is a piece of scrap I'm using. It happens to be the same length as the measuring board. If I was doing a longer board, what I would do is after I got these marked, I'd simply slide this piece down, match up the last line with the first line on my thing, and then just start scoring going down the board, and eventually the thing would be done. Anyway, we're just doing a short piece for an example here. Here's my top. I'm actually going to be doing 2 pieces at once on here, 2 rails at once. Now another problem I'm going to have, I might have too, and I'm going to solve it right now, is as I'm sliding this through the drill press, it might be just the top that moves sometimes and not the bottom. So I want to make sure both pieces move through the drill press together. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take a little wood screw right there and my drill, and I am just going to put a screw all the way through both pieces without cracking the wood. And now when I go to slide this, both pieces will move. Now as for my drill press, the jig I made on my drill press. Okay, now as to my drill press, I made up another small little jig. And it's just a board with 2 2x2s attached to it with a gap. And what this is going to allow me to do is to take the piece I want to drill and just slide it in. I'll hold it, keep it centered. Now what I did do is on the rails is I drew a straight line across, and what I do is the rail I just got done marking, and there are 2 of them here. I just line it up with that line, turn the drill on,
process. keep sliding it down, keep drilling it, lining it up, just keep doing it until the whole board's done. That's the process for doing the rails. And it's, just a matter of repeat over and over and over again. But anyway, thought you'd like to see that segment.
Welcome to Saturday, gentle people. Got started yesterday. I kind of ran you through the drilling process for the rails. And I think I mentioned it in the last segment. In case I didn't, I decided I was just going to start with my smaller panels first. Now I know I did mention all the different sizes I'm going to do. Well, I got all the rails cut, and I got finished getting all the smaller rails drilled for the holes where the PVC pipe is going to come through. And as you can see, I got shavings all over the place, all over the floor and everything else. Next step, like I said, I'm just working on the smaller ones. The larger ones I'll do after I get the smaller ones done and out of the way. Now my next step on these, I could take the PVC pipe and just start assembling. Problem is, this wood has never been sanded, so there's a lot of slivers on it. It chipped out on the bottom side, making it kind of rough as well. So before I can start doing any sort of assembly with the PVC pipe with these, I need to get my palm sander out, and I'm going to go over each one with a sander, just to get the slivers off of it. I don't want the kids, as they're going through the hump, to brush up against these and start getting slivers. Parents are going to scream, and so will the kids. So I'm going to spend a couple hours, probably the rest of the day. I don't know how long I'm going to work out here, but I'm going to spend some time out here getting these sanded. Hey guys, just had something happen. Figured I'd pass it on. So you can see not everything is perfect in the Dragon's Lair workshop. Was just finishing up my sanding. In fact, that's all I've got left there to sand. Picked up my little Makita palm sander. Went to flip the piece over, and the bottom plate fell right on off. The clips broke on it, so my palm sander died on me. So I ended up having to go down, and I bought me a little bit nicer one. I bought a DeWalt instead for a palm sander. I'm going to give that a try. It's a little bit stronger than what I've had and what have you. This one here was a Makita. Had for about 15 years, and it's given me done a lot of sanding for me. Anyway, had an equipment malfunction. I had to take a break to go get it fixed. Welcome to Sunday, people. Just getting started out here for the day. Going through, and like I said yesterday, I got all my shorter rails cut there, and it's cut and drilled. Before I bring in the 8-foot long poles, I figure I'm going to go through, and I'm actually going to get the PVC pipe into these and get these assembled so I can get them out of the shop and out of the way for the moment. Wanted to kind of go through the steps I'm going through with getting these assembled. Started out, I grabbed a handful of PVC pipe, got it up here on the table, and I'm going through and cleaning it. And I know that sounds a little weird, why is he cleaning it? When you get PVC pipe from the store, you don't really notice it in the store, but once you get home and start working with it, you'll find, like that there. It's going to have little drips on it, there'll be dust on it, marks, what have you. And I like to go through, and you can either do it now or after you have the fences assembled. But I like to go through and do it now. I like to go through and get those cleaned off. Basic reasoning is anywhere where there's marks or goop on it like that, the paint may not stick when you go to paint your item. So I like to go through and I just take a rag and some 409 and I go through and I rub down each slat, to get the miscellaneous grease, dirt, what have you off of them. Like I said, this is one that came, that's what it looked like right out when I brought it home from the store, compared to ones I've already got clean. You see a big difference getting all the crap off of it. So I just got done. I didn't do all of them. They're still all over there. It'd take me all the goddamn day to sit there and go through each and every one of them. I'll just do them as I need them. I'm going to sit down now and start marking these out so I know where my rails go, which is fairly simple and straightforward. I went out and I measured my pillars and figured out where each of the three, and got my measurement for each of the three rails. Now I need to take it from the paper and transfer it onto the pipe. And it's basically just real easy. I got a little ledger board up there, so I can lay all the pipes out, you know, or a few at a time, you know, so they're all even. And I just got to go through and mark at my first measurement for the bottom. That's going to be the bottom of the fence there. It's at 10 inches, and then I measure up to 28.5 inches, and then I measure up to 47 inches. And I just put a line on the pipe, and then when I go to put it on the rails, I just got to set the rails to each of those lines. Makes it a lot easier for assembly doing it this way than trying to do it for each individual pipe as you're putting it in, putting it on the rails. So that's what I'm basically doing right now. I'm just going through and getting things measured out. Okay, I got the radio on in the background. I ain't turning off. It's hard to turn the damn thing off, so you're going to have to put up with it. Had that pile on the table. You notice the pile's been rearranged. Got them all measured. It's been maybe 5 minutes, if that. All I did was I marked 2 of the pipes at the measurements I had. 10 inches, 27.5, 45 inches. Then I laid out a bunch of pipe, made sure it was even with the rail back there, and then took my yardstick out and went from one side of the pipe to the other and just got them all marked. Next step now is I got to start inserting them into the rails. Starting with one of the 2-foot panels first, which requires 3 pipes, 3 rails. Now, all I did was insert the pipes, which is obvious, into my rail, and I pushed the rails up to my first mark, which I'll slide that down. You can see a little bit better there, that black line. Now, what I'm going to do, and I know the camera's a little unsteady, and I apologize. I'm trying to line things up. I'm going to line on the bottom rail. I'm going to line the line I drew on the pipe up with the bottom of the rail. Sink a screw in, right dead center of the wood, right into the pipe. That will lock them in. Then I slide the other 2 rails up to the next line, which is up there, and I repeat the process. And then I slide the last one up to the top. Repeat the process. This panel is assembled and ready to go. Fairly straightforward. Okay, there's the first panel put together. I know, simple panel, 3 pipes, 3 rails. It's a 2-foot wide section. My longest sections are going to be 8 foot, and those will require more work and will take a little bit longer to assemble. But there's kind of what the pattern is going to look like. I still have the finials to put on top, and then I have a decorative pattern I'm going to do in here, both above and below the center bar, which I still have to make yet. Greetings all. For the last segment for this week, I figured it was time I cleaned out my email box a little bit. Have had some new subscribers that have subscribed. That's why they're new subscribers, naturally, over the past couple of weeks. And I want to get my email box cleaned up a little bit. So I figured I'd do a few subscriber shout outs. And I'm sorry for the delay on some of these. J. Olson 100, 1 Wish 1NJ71, Val 36931, Biohazard Customs, Woodland Haunters, and then I have 3 new users have subscribed to you, but they don't have pages. So to the 3 mystery people, welcome. Let's see, who else? Crazed Haunter, Tammy North, Sinetta Farmer, and I probably pronounced the first name wrong, and I apologize for that. Ember Tuki Video, and I know I butchered that one. Some unique names out there. And then winding up with Dan Crean. All of you, welcome to the channel. I hope you've been enjoying what you've been seeing. If you have any questions or comments or anything, well, let me know. Be happy to help you out any way I can. But anyway, you guys, welcome to the channel. It's good having you. Look forward to seeing your stuff and getting to know you. Now, with that, I am going to call this vlog for this week done. We'll have more on the fence build over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a multi-week project. I always seem to take a couple of weeks. But anyway, folks, you stay spooky out there, and we'll catch you next week.